I think he will be a name that might perhaps make you even forget Carrasco.
I doubt that. From your experience, though, what's the biggest problem that he's still likely to face?
I think the biggest problem is, expectations of the people, because every time he goes out to bat, there are expectations that he will score runs, and score runs attractively. So the expectations of the people are going to be his biggest hurdle rather than the bowling attacks of the world.
Sachin Tendulkar's most prolific year as a batsman began with him losing the captaincy of the Indian national cricket team. It was a shocking and surprising turn of events.
Reminder of the headline at the start.
This is the Star TV network.
You just couldn't escape this news of his sacking.
Sachin Tendulkar was today removed as India's cricket captain, and Mohammad Azharuddin was reinstated in the job he lost at the conclusion of the England tour of 1996.
And so, all the chopping and changing, picking and dropping, shuffling and reshuffling has led to this. Mia is back. 80s or 90s, this year or that, you have to admire the BCCI's remarkable consistency in tying itself into stupid tangles of contradictions. This musical chairs of Indian captaincy led to a quirky little situation. Sachin is both Azharuddin's predecessor and successor, and vice versa. So, how did this come to be? Why was the BCCI being a control freak? Was it being remote controlled? Was it in any control at all? Was Azhar lucky and Sachin cursed? How good was Sachin and how bad was his captaincy? As with most things, it is contextual, and we have to run through an entire chain of events of the 90s to get to the truth. We'll go through Sachin's first tenure of captaincy, series by series, and seek our answers. How did the circumstances align for him to become the captain? And for all of that, we have to rewind to early 1996, the Wills World Cup. Azhar is leading India in a World Cup for the second time. Sachin is playing in the World Cup for the second time. In 1992, he was the all-rounder, and now he was a premier batsman. He was just 22 and had a stellar tournament. Two centuries, 350s, 523 runs at 87.17. He was making records for fun. He was the first player to breach 500 runs in a single World Cup edition, while India's second highest run scorer was Navjot with 178 runs. In fact, he scored more than Sidhu, Vinod Kamli and Ajay Jadeja combined. Now that is an all-timer of a performance.
Got that away, that's it. His first 100 in World Cup cricket.
The expectation and pressure that's on him is unbelievable, like no other player.
Well, that's a good shot. Magnificent, smashed that one way over the wicket. He goes, he's hit that high, it's gone all the way, what a hit. And his fans are loving every second of it.
So, while India did upset defending champions Pakistan in Bangalore and were in the semis, what followed was utter chaos and humiliation at the Eden Gardens that night in March. But a top 4 finish was an improvement from the disastrous 1992 result where they didn't even make past the group stages.
We really struggled while fielding. I thought we didn't field well and bowl well. And when we didn't score too many runs also.
And so, despite consecutive unsuccessful World Cup campaigns, Azhar remained the captain of the 1996 tour of England, a place where he had toured quite well before.
Through square.
Well, one of the most brilliant innings ever seen at Lord's, 121.
However, on this tour, India is underprepared and loses both the tests and ODIs to the Englishmen. The bowlers struggled in the cold weather, batsmen found their fingers cramping, fielders just lumbered around in clothing more suited to an Arctic expedition. It took a while for the Indians to acclimatize, and by then they even lose a first-class match to Derbyshire. Sachin was the vice captain and made two brilliant hundreds in Birmingham and Trentbridge.
Just beautiful. Even better. You won't see a better innings than that this year. You may not see one next year either. Wonderful to watch and a privilege to be here. No need to chase that. Beautiful shot again. A glorious drive through extra cover.
That's 100 for Sachin Tendulkar.
On the tour, Rahul Dravid and Sourav Ganguly had announced themselves in international cricket with fantastic debuts at Lord's. Meanwhile, Azhar's form had dissipated and he seemed aloof. Azhar was 33 and Sachin had just turned 23. Was it time to move on? This is a fork in a road moment for the selectors, led by fast bowling legend Ramakant Desai, whom we will come back to later in the story. So the selectors replaced Azhar with Sachin Tendulkar, the youngest Indian skipper after the Nawab of Pataudi.
The selection committee unanimously has chosen Sachin Tendulkar to lead the Indian team. It was totally unanimous. Each and every selector opined only one name.
The fans are in a frenzy. A nation propelled by expectation goes into mass elation for this child prodigy, having already anointed him as the Messiah, waiting for him to perform overnight miracles across stadiums around the world.
The next batsman for India, Sachin Tendulkar.
Here's the star boy of world cricket.
And guess what? The wonder kid on his part delivers, at least initially, and against all odds. Century on captaincy debut in Colombo against the world champions, a decent showing in the Sahara Cup against the ferocious Pakistanis.
Is it fair to say you looked a little more comfortable as a captain as well today after the tournament in Colombo?
Well, when things go our way, it looks very comfortable. When things are going against you, everything seems like we were. But on the whole, I thought I was more in control.
Have you had to make any adjustments as a captain when you're actually out there batting?
Nothing much. It's all that counts in my batting ability, so I do my job.
You did it pretty well today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well, there we are. A very happy Indian captain starting this Sahara Cup 96 in extremely good form.
Wasim Akram correctly pointed to sterner tests awaiting Sachin. Shortly thereafter, India wins the inaugural Border Gavaskar one-off test at an under-prepared Firozshah Kotla. Then follows it up with a fantastic 2-1 test series win over a highly rated South African side at home. Then proceeds to win a tightly fought Titan Cup ODI tri-series against them and Australia in the winter of 1996.
Got to be 4 more. The field of their Photoshop. Azharuddin kept going. And that man there, I'm not sure why he is moving into that shorter, bigger position. And it goes past that man.
Oh, what a match they're making of it. Oh,
what a throw. What a throw. It had to be Jonty Rhodes.
A deserved victory on the night. They played wonderful cricket. I think winning the toss was reasonably important up front. But having done that, I was most impressed, particularly with Sachin Tendulkar's captaincy.
That's a decent record against better ranked and exceptionally talented opposition. It is all Christmassy until Boxing Day in Durban. The Kingsmead pitch is the fastest, bounciest, seamiest one in the world.
He's got a bit more moisture in the john. We took out the plug that is where the stump vision camera gets located just at the bowler's end. And you can see there that if I dig my thumbnail into it, it actually comes through quite clearly. So there is some moisture there, the binding is there, the clay is good, and we know that this clay is very good for a good cricket strip.
He bowled him! That's
what Donald wanted. He has uprooted Tendulkar's off stump.
And India folds up twice for 100 and 66 inside 3 days and inside 40 overs against some seriously hostile fast bowling. They could have won the Johannesburg test but for the rain and a deliberately slow ground start. But they lost 2-0 because of Durban and Cape Town. 1997 was always going to be a trial by fire as the squad moved hemispheres and latitudes, rolling from India to South Africa, to the Caribbean, to the Independence Cup back in India, to the Asia Cup and Test Series in Sri Lanka, then to the Sahara Cup in Toronto, followed by the Wills Challenger Series in Pakistan, then the Champions Trophy in Sharjah, sandwiched between a home Test and ODI series against world champion Sri Lanka. The year began with a defeat in Bloemfontein and ended with another beating in Margao. Bear in mind, this was a weak, in transition, frequently, even constantly jet-lagged side. Yet, they showed fighting spirit. After a bad start and a famous tie versus Zimbabwe, India squeezed into the final of the Standard Bank ODI series.
That is magnificent. Absolutely majestic. Oh, it cleared the sight screen. Wonderful, wonderful shot.
And an exciting run chase was on the cards. It was made even more difficult by the rains and the dark mathematics of the Duckworth-Lewis method.
But the Indians have shown that they've fought back very well in the triangulars. Let's see whether they can do that.
This is going to pose a major problem throughout the night for the South Africans. It'll make it easier for the Indians. That is one of the best shots I've ever seen in my life, Jimmy.
And he did there, and it was just helped round by Tendulkar.
They even rattled Alan Donald into angry sledging.
This is Pollock now with new boots, and he's lashed to the covers by Dravid. Dravid goes after Donald and hits it brilliantly. A magnificent pull shot.
Terrific catch. That's the only way Rahul Dravid would have got out. He played a superb innings, a capital innings, full of great shots.
I just say to Sachin and his team, thank you for a tremendous summer of cricket, and we wish them well on their journey.
And next, they went to the Caribbean. With the hope of winning a series there since 1971. The tests in Jamaica and Port of Spain are drawn. A test win and possibly a series victory was there for the taking in Barbados.
I'm pleased to be chilling in the West Indies. Jah provide all my wants and needs. I got the sunshine, rivers and trees.
All they had to do was score 120 in the fourth innings.
When the rain pits up at on the roof, herb just a steam pepper pot on the skin. Life is a dream if you got gratitude, so God tell the regime they can't stop what we do now.
He's bowled in. That cut very, very low. In the air, Holder is waiting for it. That's it. This time that's in the air and will be out. That's it. The third test match is over and won in dramatic style by the West Indian Brian Lara in his first test as captain of these great islands. Can barely believe this has happened.
This was quite heartbreaking.
Tendulkar's on the hook, and this time there's nobody back. Lloyd Barker does the rest for you.
He made that look so easy, Sachin Tendulkar. Just a quiet swivel. And 6.
I just go where the trade wind blows, sending love to my
Had they won this, Sachin Mania would have kicked up another gear. A test series win outside the subcontinent had been out of bounds since 1986. And then the harakiri in the ODI series in the Caribbean truly ended the honeymoon phase of Sachin's captaincy.
Be definite favourites at this stage. And just as I say that, the West Indians have broken through again.
Uses feet, Robin Singh underneath it. It's a poor shot, and Jimmy Adams takes the catch. He slogs away on the offside, not a good shot. Carl Hooper's underneath it, and he takes the catch. Mix up here, if he's hit, he's gone. Brilliance from Courtney Brown. And again, through the offside, Brian Lara underneath it. Brian Lara takes the catch. Oh, here we go. They're running again. A good throw will have him. Oh, that's tight, very tight. Yes, he's broken the stumps. I think the red light's going to appear any time. Yes, there it is. That's very close. A direct hit, he's run out. And I guess that was the obvious way, the way India have compounded here for the match to end. Crazy cricket, and the crowd have gone nuts, absolutely nuts. India have snatched defeat.
That a captain is as good as his side was beginning to show. Ahead of this important tour, Sachin had asked for an off-spinner to combat the left-handed dangermen Shivnarayan Chandrapal and Brian Lara. He is denied. Sachin protests. Then, pace spearhead Javagal Sreenath has a rotator cuff shoulder injury. An unknown Hyderabadi Noel David is flown in as his replacement. Sachin protests again. How about that off-spinner I want? Earlier in February, Sachin had stormed off a selection committee meeting. The selectors realized that this chap is not a rubber stamp and that he won't meekly toe the line. He is unafraid to speak his mind. But they can't fire him because there's no replacement. Replace with whom? Ajay Jadeja, who was not in the test squad, or Azhar, whom they had just fired.
अगर सचिन को कप्तान बनाते हैं तो अजहरुद्दीन को टीम में नहीं रखना चाहिए। वो इसलिए कि इस टाइम जो पुराना कप्तान खेलेगा नए कप्तान के साथ तो हमेशा नया कप्तान प्रेशर में रहेगा।
Azhar was still in the side, but his form had dipped and then the runouts mounted, as did the instances of his overruling the captain's and team management's instructions. This led to the public opinion turning against him. The selectors, meanwhile, broadcasted widely and made it well known that the Hyderabadi's lack of commitment, his apparent disinterest and his desultory approach to the game has led to him being dropped for the Independence Cup.
We are distracted eventually.
But unlike Sachin, luck has always been on Azhar's side. India crashes out of a showpiece quadrangular event after Saeed Anwar knocks the stuffing out of them with a swashbuckling 194 at Chepauk.
Going again, this looks as though it's gone. Yes, it's gone. That's very nicely played on the onside to become the highest scorer in one-day cricket. He knows it, and the crowd rise up to cheer him as one.
Anwar's magnificent 194 included 22 fours and 5 sixes.
We can't really truly verify this, but Azhar is believed to have said, quite understandably, at this point, there are murmurs in the media that certain selectors are in the favour of sacking Sachin, while Sachin and Madan Lal have made it clear that Azhar is not wanted in the side. Just after the Independence Cup and before the Asia Cup, on 28 June 1997, a 1500-word Times of India column appears with Sachin's byline, syndicated by Sunil Gavaskar's professional management group. That's a good case of Bombay cricketers batting for each other. The move was quite unprecedented. No captain has attempted this before. Forget a young greenhorn like Sachin. The Indian skipper was justifying his captaincy records and why he made the decisions he made just as the selectors sat down to discuss his captaincy. He pointed to a B-string attack and lack of tour games and calling for patience with a young Indian side. It undercut almost every single question that can be raised against him and strategically published the very morning the selectors sat down to review his captaincy. If they sacked him now, the selectors risked looking revengeful against a young captain. This ruffled feathers and bruised selectors' egos even further. Sachin had thrown a spanner in the works of their selection process.
It's a process that has aroused much debate and controversy. And joining us now from Bangalore is the man in charge, the chairman of the selection committee. Now, sir, what do the statistics actually show?
The statistics show that he held on to the captaincy with a 3-2 vote. Primarily because, again, there was no one else to helm it. Desai's Bombay/West zone vote saved him. So, the board fixed that.
No problem.
The whole problem here is that there is absolutely no transparency in the workings of the team, the management, or indeed the selection committee and the BCCI. And so the board politics began anew. They opened with a bold face in the Calcutta board meeting. And now the selectors are saying, why not Azhar again? So Azhar, dropped a fortnight ago, is recalled for the Asia Cup and the Tri-Series in Sri Lanka. And magically he rediscovers his form. India lose in the Asia Cup finals and promptly the media resumes their campaign. That the young Tendulkar is feeling the pressure of captaincy, that his batting is falling apart, that India's losses are attributable to this factor and this factor alone. Sachin is quite aware of these reports and can feel the heat of the hot seat. India draws the 2 tests, the first of which in Colombo sees Sri Lanka pummel a record-breaking aggregate score of 952 for 6. Both Sachin and Azhar scored 2 centuries each in the series, but the Islanders blank India 3-0 in the ODIs. And then they are off to Canada.
5 matches to be played here in Toronto.
For the only series that India wins in the year. The much hyped Sahara Cup in Toronto.
That's a really fine picture in view of everything that's happened over the past few days in this tournament, to see the Pakistani and Indian flags linked together.
I think we have a very good chance. We did well in Sahara Cup in Toronto. We just want to give our level best here and play some good cricket.
Pakistan has a new captain inside Anwar.
So that's 8 matches in 20 days against Pakistan in just the month of September. The selectors are still trying to fire him, but with a 5-3 record against arch rivals Pakistan, that wasn't quite possible. Long-time Sachin backer, board president Raj Singh Dungarpur calls from London and puts his foot down, conveying firmly that he should not be tampered with.
Mr. Chairman, what are we talking about? I want to tell you one thing. Sachin Tendulkar does not fail.
Fearing a public backlash, they back off. The scapegoat? Madan Lal. The World Cup winning all-rounders contract is not renewed. Sachin is safe, but for how long? Find out in the concluding part of How They Act Sachin.